From financial ruin, something you really want to avoid, to the weakening of the Hakurei Barrier, that does not sound good. And randomly assisting people, there's always that. Hello, Magi here, and welcome back to another episode of Interesting Touhou Facts, the series where I talk about facts from Touhou that I find either fun, unusual, or simply interesting. So without further ado, let's begin the Interesting Touhou Facts number 96.
Number 5.
Let's talk about Mokou, as it's been a very long time since we've done so. Since Mokou is an immortal, she's been living for quite a while. I'm sure she's seen many things we probably couldn't imagine. Now that she's in Gensokyo, her days are pretty normal, aside from the occasional incidents here and there. Since she's an immortal, she doesn't need to eat or drink to stay alive, so she doesn't need to work for money. While that may be the case, she would prefer to keep herself occupied. One such way would be guiding people through the bamboo forest. When the forest is called Bamboo Forest of the Lost, you can expect yourself to be, well, lost in such a place. With Mokou, it's impossible for you to get lost, so GG, well played. That's nothing spectacular for people who've known Mokou for a while though. There's a small twist to this, however. She's helped someone from the outside world before, although accidentally, possibly. So in Changeability of Strange Dream / Story, which is a music CD containing a story involving Maribel and Renko, Maribel was in what appeared to be the Bamboo Forest of the Lost. She was being chased by some mouse yokai. As Maribel was running, a bright scarlet glow came about, drawing the mouse yokai's attention. While we didn't get any definitive answer to the user's name, we know that the person had a scarlet glow and was summoning fire from her body like it was wings. The only person who would normally be in the forest and could use fire would have to be Mokou. In the story, it's never been stated if Mokou saw Maribel, as the university student started to hide as soon as Mokou did her thing. It's possible Mokou did that just to get the yokai to piss off, or Mokou might have noticed Maribel running before and assisted her like that. Either way, we won't ever know. Good guy Mokou, kinda.
Number 4.
So we've learned in Curiosity, we have quite the cast that comes to visit. We have our usual suspects of Reimu and Marissa, but now we have newer additions like Sumiriko. Another interesting customer, or guest I would say, as no one rarely buys stuff there, is Aya. In Curiosity's chapter 30, Aya visits Korindo. That's nothing new, as she's visited the place as back in as Bohemian. The thing is, she came to ask questions about Rinosuke's new source of supply, aka Sumiriko. From the exchange, we know that Aya isn't too thrilled with Sumiriko's presence in Gensokyo. Why, you may ask, as they've never interacted at this point. Well, remember, there's a power struggle for human influence in the village, where the Tengu, Kappa, Rabbits, and Tanuki are fighting for it. Since Sumiriko's from the outside world, it's possible she, too, could influence the humans in her own right. Or that's what Aya believes. Not only that, Rinosuke too learns of the struggle, as well as Reimu had explained it to the shopkeeper. He was shocked at how calm Reimu was at the situation. Hell, in fact, it appears she enjoyed the situation as well. So there's that. As it showed in this chapter, we're aiming for power. Almost anything can be a threat to it, even a high schooler of all things.
Number 3.
As of now, we know that Gensokyo is separated from the outside world thanks to the Hakurei Barrier, a magical barrier that locks itself away from the rest of the world. No way to get in or out unless you have the special abilities to do so, like Yukari's Gap, Sumiriko's ability to dream herself to the world, and so on. It's a pretty powerful barrier, as it's been around for over 100 years. So it's doing its job pretty well. Regardless though, all barriers, physical and magical, will get weakened over time. So in Strange Creators Volume 1, we learned that the Hakurei Barrier was weakened when the shrine's main building was on fire. This took place during Wild Chapter 20. It happened when Reimu was holding a festival for Tori no Ichi. Simply put, a festival where people sell rakes to bring in business prosperity. There's more to the festival than meets the eye, but the most important part is that during the festival, there was a fire and it spread to the main shrine. The exact degree they're linked is unknown. Plus, the shrine collapsed during an earthquake in Scarlet Weather, but the effects on the barrier were unknown. So it appears the shrine building and the barrier are connected somewhat, since we don't really know if it was actually affected during the events of Scarlet Weather. Either way, more info on the barrier is never a bad thing.
Number 2.
So this next fact is based on Strange Creators Volume 2. So in the Imperishable Night Cross Review section under the Stage 4 comments, Zune originally wanted the Stage 4 boss to have the system like Patchley, where each team would face different spell cards, or in this case, characters. You face Reimu and Marissa depending on the team you chose, which is something we knew. But Zune wanted Sakya and Yomu to be included as well. Sakya would have been the Stage 4 boss of the Netherworld team and Yomu for the Scarlet team. The only reason he didn't do it was because of time restraint, Remember, those two girls would have needed new soundtracks, artwork, spell cards, and anything else I might have missed, so I can understand why he would miss out on that. It was much easier when it was patchy in a sense, as he only had to make one character, with one music track, with 4 different spell cards for Reimu, Marissa, and the shot types. If he continued with the original idea, it would have been 4 characters, 4 unique spell card variations, and 4 music track. The thing is, this was something I later thought of when visiting Imperishable Night for my character profiles. I always wondered why Zune didn't use Sokka and Yomo as bosses for their opposites since Reimu and Marissa were added in. I felt like it made sense, and clearly that was the case given it was the idea from the beginning. It would have been cool if it happened. Oh well, can't always get what we want.
Number 1.
For this last fact, we're going to be covering an ability that could very well be the strongest ability. And trust me, you do not want to be on the receiving end of this. We're going to be looking at Joan, Miss Bling Bling. Now she's got one nasty ass ability. Her power is causing consumption of financial assets. No, not my money. Yeah, I know, I might have hyped it up just a bit, but hey man, being poor is never fun. So let's see how she drains your bank account. She takes hold of her targets with her fast talk, then makes them use up their money as if they're offering it on their own will. As they lose their assets, their luck dwindles as well, and in the end, they're reduced to a husk of their former self. Man, that's not fucking fun, that's for sure. Since she possesses humans with money and brings unhappiness to them, she could in that sense be called a god who controls financial ruin. Ah, great, a god that specializes in making you poor. Not one I want to deal with. A really good example of this was with Sumuriko. I talked about this incident in a previous episode, but to recap it, there's a barbecue at Korindo. Sumuriko bought the most expensive meat, even though that wasn't her intention in the beginning. During her inner monologue, we see Joan persuading the high schooler, making it sound like it was all Sumuriko's idea in the first place. Although Sumuriko ain't rich, she did lose a lot of her allowance thanks to Joan. Now, out of all the abilities we've showcased so far, I fear hers the most, as I know I wouldn't be able to resist her influences and lose my money real fast. Not a fate I want to deal with. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Which facts were your favorite? Do you think Mokou intentionally helped out Maribel all those years ago? Are you curious to learn if the barrier was affected during Scarlet Weather? Or would you have been down for Sokka and Yomo being bosses for their opposite teams? If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe, or else the barrier might be more busted than normal, and that's not a good sign. Either way, this is Magi, and thanks again for watching.